In Ghana, wealth is not measured in stocks, bonds, or digital portfolios. It is measured in paper. For generations, families have chased a singular holy grail, the land title certificate. It is treated not merely as proof of ownership, but as a sacred shield securing the family's future. But this cultural fetishization of the physical document has turned into a massive economic anchor. To understand why, you have to enter the labyrinthine world of the Lands Commission in Accra. What should be a straightforward administrative record turns into a multi-year odyssey. Walk through these halls, and you will find citizens who have been chasing signatures for a decade. The staggering financial cost of navigating this system drains liquid capital from everyday builders. Search fees, plan approvals, site inspections, and clearance checks eat away at building budgets. Families pour their life savings into buying a plot, only to find the real expenses begin at the desk. Every step requires a new file, a new stamp, and a new unofficial facilitation fee. It is a system built on friction, where speed is a luxury bought with additional capital. Consequently, ordinary families spend decades locking up liquid capital into bureaucratic limbo. Money that could fund a business, expand an enterprise, or educate children is tied down in litigation. All for the ultimate prize, the blue form stamp of absolute validation. People believe that once that blue form is secured, their land is safe for generations to come. They spend their productive years chasing it, sacrificing liquid liquidity for dead-weight asset security. The tragedy is that this fixation prevents property from acting as active capital in the financial system. Banks look at disputed titles, overlapping maps, and lengthy verification processes with deep suspicion. So the land sits there, fenced, guarded, but economically dead. Generations inherit the land, but they also inherit the unending disputes tied to its boundaries, because multiple indentures can be issued for the exact same parcel of earth by different family heads. The stool lands, family lands, and state-acquired lands overlap in a chaotic cartographic nightmare, and yet people continue to queue, pay, and wait, believing the paper protects them. They trust the blue seal more than they trust the economic reality around them. This obsession drains the creative energy of a young, ambitious population. Instead of investing in innovation or scalable businesses, capital flows into concrete blocks and litigation. Lawyers make fortunes arguing over boundaries that were poorly surveyed decades ago. The system breeds a peculiar form of psychological comfort rooted entirely in paperwork. You hold the title, therefore you feel secure against the uncertainties of the world. Families guard these documents in bank vaults, like crown jewels. Passing down the blue form is treated as the ultimate parental duty before passing on. Yet, holding that precious piece of paper doesn't actually guarantee you own what's on it. In fact, it often makes you a target. That shiny certificate immediately flashes a neon sign to an invisible army of fraudulent syndicates. Because in many suburbs, the person who sold you the land had already sold it to 3 others. This is the notorious world of double sale syndicates operating inside and outside the registry. When rival claimants appear, the legal framework introduces a terrifying new actor, the land guard. Armed with machetes and informal muscle, these enforcers enforce competing claims through raw intimidation. Owners find themselves hiring their own private security just to protect foundation blocks from midnight destruction. Generational wealth does not compound here. It bleeds out through the endless high court system. Families watch their inheritances evaporate under crushing legal fees and decades-long adjournments. A single land case can span across 2 generations of judges, outliving the original litigants entirely. Children inherit a file full of court injunctions instead of an asset that generates income. This brings us to the profound paradox of dead capital in prime real estate districts. Drive through East Legon, cantonments, or the upscale hills of Kumasi, and you see staggering wealth. Mansions worth millions of dollars stand gleaming under the West African sun. Yet, try taking those multi-million-dollar properties to a commercial bank to secure a business expansion loan. You will hit an administrative brick wall. Commercial lenders routinely reject them as valid collateral. Why? because the title ambiguity makes foreclosure and legal recovery an absolute nightmare for risk managers. A title that cannot be verified cleanly cannot be leveraged for commercial credit, so the asset remains completely frozen, unable to fuel broader economic growth or industrial scaling. Economists call this dead capital, assets that physically exist but lack legal recognition to generate liquidity. The entire financial system is choked because real estate value cannot cross over into the banking sector. Families sit on gold mines of concrete while struggling to find raw liquidity for daily operations. It creates an absurd economic trap where owning more land pushes you deeper into cash distress. Every CD spent on fencing, land guards, and court injunctions is a CD pulled away from productive enterprise. The legal fees alone could have funded dozens of startups in Accra's burgeoning tech and agricultural hubs. Instead, the money feeds a litigation ecosystem that rewards delay, confusion, and bureaucratic red tape. The system thrives precisely because transparency threatens the intermediaries who profit from chaos. Middlemen, compromised registry officials, and opportunistic kingmakers rely on manual paper records. Digital databases are resisted because transparency kills the double-sale business model overnight. So the paper trail remains intentionally fragmented, confusing, and prone to manipulation. Generations continue to feed this monster, believing that the next stamp will finally break the curse. They pour money into a black hole of administrative inefficiency disguised as legal security. The entire cultural mindset treats land ownership as a defensive fortress rather than an engine of trade. You defend your perimeter, you guard your papers, and you trust no one outside your bloodline. This inward-looking strategy guarantees safety for a single household while starving the broader economy. When every family builds its own walled castle of litigation defense, the national economy fractures. The cost of this collective delusion is measured in billions of cedis locked up in useless paperwork. A nation cannot build a modern financial powerhouse when its primary asset class is trapped in medieval friction. The friction protects the few at the direct expense of the collective future. Until the foundational rules of property change, the paper trap will continue to claim new victims. If traditional land titling is an economic dead end, what is the alternative model that successful modern economies are using right now? Global pioneers are answering that question by replacing dusty archives with cryptographic ledgers. Emerging pilots in digital land registry systems show how transparency can finally dismantle rent-seeking. By anchoring property records onto tamper-proof blockchain networks, the physical double sale becomes impossible. Every boundary, every transaction, and every historical claim is time-stamped and cryptographically locked. No corrupt registry clerk can quietly alter a paper file in the dark of night when the ledger is distributed. This technological leap shifts the entire cultural mindset away from hoarding vulnerable physical paper. Instead of a defensive fortress of blue forms, property transforms into a dynamic, liquid asset. When banks can verify ownership instantly through transparent nodes, credit flows freely to builders. The multi-year odyssey at the Lands Commission compresses into automated smart contracts executed in seconds. Capital trapped in concrete and court injunctions is finally freed to power the national economy. Families no longer need to spend their productive decades funding land guards and endless litigation. Instead, they invest in enterprise, education, and innovation, letting their property work for them. The transition requires political will to override the intermediaries who profit from chaos. It demands dismantling an antiquated paper bureaucracy that has choked Ghanaian ambition for far too long. The final verdict is uncompromising and clear. Ghana must completely dismantle its obsession with fragile physical documentation. It must pivot decisively to agile, transparent, and digitally verified property rights. Only then will the country truly unleash the staggering potential of its generational wealth.